Chapter 13. When she came out of the Wilson group, Claire was extremely excited. Tomorrow Grandma will officially announce her new appointment, and she can finally be proud of it. Thinking of this, she couldn't help saying to Charlie, "Charlie, thank you. If it weren't for your encouragement, I wouldn't dare to take this task." Charlie smiled and said, "My wife, you deserve it." After speaking, Charlie said again, "By the way, my wife, do you want to celebrate such a big event?" Claire nodded. "How do you want to celebrate?" Charlie smiled and said, "It just so happens that the anniversary of our third wedding year is coming soon. Let's celebrate together. I'll make preparations, you don't have to worry about it." Claire asked in surprise, "Are you trying to surprise me?" "Yes." Charlie nodded and smiled, "I just want to prepare a surprise for you." Claire felt a little sweet in her heart, and said, "Then I won't ask you exactly what it is." Charlie said, "Don't ask, just wait." In order to prepare a special wedding anniversary for his wife, Charlie thought of many plans. The whole is mainly based on compensation. After all, he used to be poor and didn't have the money to buy gifts for his wife, and he didn't even give his wife a formal wedding. Now that he has money, he must compensate her well. After splitting up with his wife, Charlie went to a jewelry shop named Rare Earth in the center of Oris Hill City by himself. Rare Earth is the most famous jewelry store in the region. Gold, platinum, diamonds, and jade, it can be said to have everything. Charlie wanted to buy a gift for his wife first, and then go to the best hotel to book a late wedding. After arriving at Rare Earth, the shopping guide saw him wearing a 4-bar Adidas, and they didn't bother to pay attention to him. Charlie looked around for a long time, and saw a jade necklace locked in a cabinet. The material of this necklace is the top ice jade, exquisite atmosphere, very in line with Claire's temperament. Charlie looked at the price, 13 million, which was trivial to him. So he called a salesperson and said, "Hello, please take this necklace out and let me have a look." The other party glanced at Charlie and said, "I don't have the key, it is in our manager's hands." After speaking, he used the walkie-talkie to say, "Manager Jane, someone wants to see our treasure of the town shop." Soon, a very enchanting woman trot over excitedly. Her name was Jane, the sales manager here. "Which distinguished guest wants to see the treasure of the town shop?" The salesman pointed to Charlie and said, "Manager Jane, this is the gentleman." "Who?" When Jane saw Charlie, she was as sick as a fly. How can this kind of filthy rug afford the treasure of the town shop? Thinking of this, she immediately said to the male shopping guide, "Liu, are you kidding me?" The other party said, "No, this gentleman really wants to see the treasure of the town shop." Jane scolded, "Can this kind of filthy rug afford the treasure of the town shop? Are you blind? If you are blind, just say it and I will rid of you soon." Jane prides herself on being extremely accurate. She can tell at a glance what kind of person and what kind of purchasing power one has. Therefore, she also judged at a glance that Charlie was a pauper and stinky rug. Not to mention the 13 million treasure of the town shop, even the ordinary necklace for 1,300s, he definitely can't afford it. This is not a waste of your feelings? The male shopping guide dared not speak out, so Charlie frowned and asked her, "You don't open the door to do business. I want to see this necklace." "What's the problem?" Jane sneered, "We open the door to do business, but don't do business with worthless people. If you can't afford it, don't join the fun." Charlie frowned and said, "With which eye do you see that I can't afford it?" "Ha ha." Jane said disdainfully, "This jade is worth tens of millions. What do you buy?" "I know, don't you just want me to take a picture of you and send it to your circle of friends?" As she said, Jane wrapped her arms around her chest, with a high-pitched look, her face full of contempt. Hearing that this jade is worth tens of millions, many people around pointed and said with contempt, "This kind of person is really shameless. He can't afford it but want to have to look at it. What to look at when you can't buy it even in dreams? That's it, without looking at the identity, just that one dress, how can it be worthy of such a super jade? I tell you, there are too many of these fooling around now." Charlie glanced at Jane at the counter and saw that the other party was sneering at him with a disdainful face. He had already made up his mind to teach this B*TCH, who is so low-minded. So Charlie took out his cell phone and dialed Stephen Thompson's number. "Come to Rare Earth, give me 13 million in cash. I want to see it in 10 minutes. "No problem, Master, I will come here." Jane curled her mouth and smiled. "I'm still addicted to acting. You have 13 million in cash. I have never seen so much cash in my life. I hope you can open my eyes. You don't know, more than for millions of cash, you need to make an appointment with the bank first." "Ha ha ha, you are so funny." Charlie nodded and said, "Since you haven't seen so much cash, you will see it soon." The people around were all talking about it. "It's not a problem to be poor, the problem is not to swell your face to fill a fat man. Ha ha, this man doesn't look like a rich man at first sight. He is still talking about 13 million and can give out 300,000. I call him my father. I just want to see what the 13 million cash looks like." Listening to everyone standing on her side, Jane couldn't help but smile. She couldn't see the cash after a while. Let's see how the poor ghost ended up. A few minutes later, at the entrance of Rare Earth, several Rolls-Royce suddenly stopped. Then, from the two front cars, 8 bodyguards in black suits descended. They were holding black leather suitcases in their hands, their muscles were tight, their faces were solemn, and they were all cold and murderous, and even the atmosphere around them was a little serious. This scene immediately shocked the entire Rare Earth. Where does this big man come from? There is such a pomp. Chapter 14. Seeing such a big show, Jane was also shocked, thinking to herself that it was not really the person who was called by the poor ghost. But after another thought, how could it be possible? It is impossible for the poor ghost to know such a powerful character. Stephen Thompson got off the third Rolls-Royce and walked into Rare Earth. Jane quickly got up to greet him. But Stephen Thompson didn't even look at her and went straight to Charlie. "Master, I am here and I have brought the money," Stephen Thompson said, waving his hand, and the bodyguard behind walked into Rare Earth and directly put the box full of money on the ground and opened it. It's all densely packed with cash. The people around were so frightened that they gasped for air. D***M it. This smelly filthy ruggo no. What this person said is actually true. D***MN, what kind of big man is he? Many people took out their phones to shoot videos one after another. They didn't want to miss such a shocking scene. However, Stephen Thompson's bodyguards cleared them all out immediately, and they could only photograph Charlie on the back of his head. Charlie pointed to the cash on the floor and asked Jane, "Have seen so much money? Have you seen it now?" Jane was frightened and nodded, I see it, I see it." Charlie said to Stephen Thompson, "I want to see the manager of this store." Stephen Thompson nodded, took out his cell phone, and searched for a moment to call. As soon as the call was connected, he cursed directly into the phone, "Bad son, I am Stephen Thompson. I am at Rare Earth now. Give you 1 minute and get out of here immediately. Otherwise, I will make people burn this Rare Earth. Then let someone break your dog legs." Jane's face turned pale, and the expression in Stephen Thompson's eyes was full of fear. Is this person really so powerful? Own boss, but Oris Hill has a big man with a face, and he can eat well on the road, who can't give him some face? How can anyone dare to talk to him like this? Before a minute, a middle-aged fat man crawled out of the office behind him. As soon as he saw Stephen Thompson, he rushed forward and said, "Mr. Thompson, you come to my shop. Without saying a word in advance, I'd have come to meet you." Stephen Thompson directly slapped him in the face and furiously said, "You have a big shelf, and your clerk dares to neglect our young master. Are you tired of life?" Stephen Thompson knew that the young master had been wronged a lot in the past 10 years. At this time, seeing a clerk also gave him annoyance. The middle-aged fat man received a slap in the face, and he was a bit wronged at first, but when he heard this, he was shocked and lost his mind. The young master of Stephen Thompson? D***MN, Stephen Thompson already exists like a real dragon. Isn't his young master like a god in the hanging? His frightened legs kept trembling, and turned his head to see Charlie next to Stephen Thompson. Although he looked ordinary, he was the young master of Stephen Thompson's boss family. Thinking of this, the middle-aged fat man was even more apprehensive, and said quickly, "Master, I'm so sorry, I apologize to you." Then he turned his head, full of anger, and cursed, "Which thing that doesn't have eyesight offends the young master? Stand up for me." The eyes of other shopping guides instantly focused on Jane. Jane quickly wanted to shrink back. But the middle-aged fat man rushed up instantly, grabbed Jane by the collar, slapped her face with a blow, and cursed, "You are a BTCH not better than that. Even you dare to offend the master. You are really blind. Blind eyes." Jane was knocked to the ground by a slap. She said crying, "Boss, I'm sorry, I'm blind, please spare me this time." "Spare you?" The middle-aged fat man grabbed her hair and pulled her face up, hitting her face with a big fist. With one punch and another punch, her face was full of blood. Drafted, "Do you want to kill me? You want to kill me? King kill you first." Jane's mouth full of teeth was broken several times, and the bridge of her nose she had just paid for was also broken. Her face was full of blood. She broke away crying and broke away from the middle-aged fat man. She knelt and crawled to Charlie's side, grabbed his leg, and cried, "Mr. Wade, I really know that I was wrong. I will never look down on people in the future, please forgive me." Charlie said coldly, "Do it yourself." When the middle-aged fat man saw that she grabbed Charlie's leg, he was so scared that he ran over and slammed on her head, cursing, "You can touch the young master's leg. I'll kill you." After this step, Jane suddenly became unconscious. The middle-aged fat man said to the security guard next to him, "Put this dog-eyed into the waste bin behind the shop." "Okay, boss." The security guards did not dare to delay, and immediately took Jane, who was full of blood, and led her out. Charlie said to the middle-aged fat man expressionlessly, "My wife likes that jade, please wrap it up for me." The middle-aged fat man nodded quickly and said, "Okay, I'll wrap it up for you." Charlie took out the premium card and said, "Swipe this card." After speaking, he said to Stephen Thompson, "You can take the cash back." The middle-aged fat man hurriedly said, "Mr. Wade, you like this jade, so I will give it to you as a little gift." Charlie said, "I don't need you to do that." The middle-aged fat man said in a consensual way, "Mr. Wade, treat it as a small little heart, please accept it." Stephen Thompson said to Charlie, "Mr. Wade, since he intends to send you as a plea, please accept it, otherwise he won't even be able to sleep at night." Charlie hesitated for a moment, then nodded gently, "Okay, then I thank you." Seeing Charlie accepted the jade necklace, the fat man breathed a sigh of relief. If Charlie didn't accept this necklace, he was really afraid that Stephen Thompson would not let him go. With his strength, hooking his fingers could also make him wiped out. At this time, Stephen Thompson asked Charlie, "Mr. Wade, do you want me to send you off?" "No." Charlie waved his hand and said, "Where is the back door? I'll go by myself." The onlookers really opened their eyes today. Several Rolls-Royces brought $13 million in cash just to buy a piece of jade. As a result, the boss of Rare Earth did not even dare to collect money. What is the origin of that very humble young man? Many people uploaded this video to the internet, and it became popular online. Netizens have called this mysterious person super rich second generation, overbearing president, God-level rich man, and even set off a search for God-level rich man activity, and countless people actively participated. But fortunately, when these people took the video, the man and his people were cleared out of the store surrounded by bodyguards, so the identity in their video was very vague and could not be used as a reference for finding someone.